All right. I am online and I'll just switch on the recording. Great. We are live and as well as being recorded. Just going to mute myself here. And if you're watching this live in my YouTube channel, give me a hi, hello. I'm just opening the chat. I'll be happy to know that if you're watching me live, am I audible? Am I visible? Whichever part of the world you are, just give me a hi here and tell me where you are watching here this video from. Welcome to Unlocking EQ Brain Skills. And today, officially, we are on day 14. And we are discussing about how to develop emotional intelligence skills through activating your left brain and right brain. And if you are a busy mom feeling overwhelmed with surprise challenges day in and day out, the ability for you to think on your feet and solve problems rapidly, meaning faster and quicker, being agile is very important. And if you're not able to catch up with time, with transactions, with trend outside, we always feel that we are left out. We are the odd man out or odd women out. In order to eliminate that feeling in you, in order to be agile and competitive, no matter whether you're working or you are not, you're staying at home, we still are fully functional. Okay, our brain is, fully functional. It is operating in the same level of, irrespective of any profile you are in. Okay, it is up to you to enable those existing talents in you, the wisdom in you, so that you can optimally functional in all dimensions of life. With that being said, what will make you rapidly solve the problems and be agile, be on track? What is that one skill which can help you be on track? So let's go to find out what are those skill set which are enabling you to be, faster and quicker and agile. It is just not one skill. It is it's component. It's a subset of a lot of skills which makes you to be emotionally intelligent. If you have been watching these episodes, we are on day 14. I highly recommend you to go and watch the previous episodes because all the skills that has been discussed is important. Today, when you are on the day 14, you're working towards solving problems rapidly. That means you must have taken care of the previous elements for you to get prepared to come to the stage. So that is what you will have to watch in the previous episodes. We spoke about, we started to, we started this entire series of bouncing back. How do you bounce back like a pro? And what is that one skill which will help you do that? It doesn't matter whether you have a setback or you have a normal challenges, daily challenges at home. How do you come back quickly? How do you bounce back? Maybe at fault, may not be at your fault. Maybe it is mistakes from other people. But when you're dealing with people, constantly there'll be some turmoil, some challenges. And even when there are no people around, our own self will create our, problem and negativity. So how are we dealing both ourselves and outside situations? And how do we bounce back? So we started off with that, and then we elevated ourselves to understanding the emotional insight in it when we deal with people. And then we saw how logical resilience and emotional resilience play in every dimensions of life, whether you're a leader or an entrepreneur or a parent, how does it play in your respective roles? And we also saw emotional agility, and we started looking at problem solving skills, and we stepped into making you a great decision maker, and for which there are a couple of skills that you need to work out. Yesterday we saw critical thinking. How many of you have seen that episode? If you have already watched that episode, highly recommend you to share just top 3 key learnings. If you can put your top 3 key learnings as comments, trust me, it's going to reinstate your awareness that you've gained by watching these episodes. And it's going to when you recall this, it is going to come at your rescue whenever you have a problem. Because that is the whole aim of learning something. You got to reinstate so that it stays within you and help you when it is in the time of need. So by putting that as comment, your learning, it's going to get reinstated in you. And when somebody else sees your comment, they're going to get bulb on. Maybe they have a learning in other areas, but when they see other people sharing, so that could be a learning for them. That's an indirect way of learning, and it definitely inspire people who are watching. So no matter whether you are a stay-at-home mom or you're a working professional or you're a businesswoman, or you could be a dad, doesn't matter. But as long as if you are watching this episode, just give me an indication through your comments. Okay. That being said, let's see what's in it for today. And we are on day 14, as I said. We're going to be discussing about how to think on your feet. Rapid problem solving for busy moms. As I already said, this entire series of unlocking 100 days of EQ brain skills, it's a mini guide for busy moms. We will not have time to sit and go through courses or, get trained for all these skills because there are a lot of subsets, moving parts in emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence itself is I would not say it's a new thing, new skill. It is already in us. We have people around us who's exhibiting emotional intelligence all the time. It is just that we don't have that awareness. We're not able to relate it. Neither we have given names to it. So maybe you already have those skills, couple of skills of you trying to be emotional intelligent. It is already in you. Through your mastery experience, you would have felt, did I even do that? But we haven't given the name to it, so we know exactly, oh, this is what has helped us. So we might as well want to use it for the future, incidents, right? It's more of a prevention. It's more of these learnings can be prevention preparation for you, so that you can forecast your own adversity. You don't have to necessarily go through the adversity. You can actually bounce back even before that. You don't even have to reach to that stage. So, having said that, it is a quick mini guide for busy moms, and it is also coming on to you in an audio format. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel for getting notified so that whenever I come live, you will get direct notifications. You can also hop in. Um, and after 100 days, I'm going to be bundling all these videos, putting that as a course in my community where it'll be a lifetime access for moms, exclusively for women. So you will have an access to that as well, but it won't be available over here. So as much as possible, travel with me and complete your learnings within this 100 days. And I also want to give you some freebies because you are here, you're watching this episode, or you're listening to this podcast, the same version, the same topic, but in a different version, in a different way. You can hear it on the fly. If you are a person who subscribed to this channel and have been watching or hearing me continuously, that means a lot to me. You are serious in your growth. That really means a lot to me. So I will offer a freebie for you, a reward for you, where you can access an awareness quiz bundles along with these videos. Okay. That awareness quiz bundles will help you assess the skill set that we are discussing every day. It's not just a new skill set. You can also assess your current level of where do you stand in that skills, the skill set or talent that we are discussing. That means you will also know the areas of improvement. Maybe you already have a skill. There are some areas that you might want to increase, develop in you. You can learn that, and there'll be a lot of options given to you where you will feel like, okay, these are something that is missing in me. So immediately you will know the missing element and start learning on it. All right, so all these are available, and there are more coming, but I would want you to stick on to this episode. In just a few minutes, if you have been watching this episode earlier, you would by now know the format of it. I will give you the advantage and disadvantage of a particular skill, definition with left brain and right brain, also actionable steps. 6 actionable tips that you can instantly follow through using and activating your left brain and right brain skills, because unless you know which part of the brain is activated, and even if you not aware of it. But if you can pay attention as to, maybe the left brain is already dominated in you. You're a logically driven person already. Use that as a strength to build the area of improvement. It's the vice versa. Maybe you're emotionally able to connect with people. That could be your strength, but you should be aware of it. That is why I insist on saying this is left brain and that is right brain. So, sometimes both brains, uh, activities or strategies will also be shared. So I'll specify that. So by the time you travel with me, you must be, in a, if not mastery, there is no mastery in emotional intelligence. We are all in working progress. You can become highly aware of what we're actually talking. So you will start talking EQ language. So that is the ultimate reward for me. Okay. With that being said, how can you think on your feet when there is a surprise challenge or a shocking experiences? You have your planned day, but life doesn't go on our way every time. It has its own plan. So how are we able to think at our feet when there is a heated or stressful moments, or when there is something that we have unplanned for? It comes like a shocker. So you're going to learn how to make you think on your feet at the same time be able to solve problems quickly. Okay, it's a skill, it's a learning skill. It's like a muscle that you have to exercise every day. It doesn't come, on a weekend, or it doesn't come to you just like that. Okay. So what are we going to do is we're going to touch upon areas which will make you stay calm at pressure, those skills and talents, and also those which helps you take quick decisions and keeps you on the day, that it keeps you on track of your day. If you are able to do these, then you're falling part of, or you're in the way of taking, uh, solving problems rapidly. So we are working reverse. The aim is to make you solve problem rapidly in the sense faster and quicker, so that you are not left behind. You are on the right. You're not, you're, it's a highly competitive, it's a highly fast-paced environment. Social media is looting our attention and focus. There is no time to breathe. It's everywhere there's competition, whether it's school or work or within friendships, even in business network, market is highly competitive everywhere. So how do you keep up to that pace? That is what we are trying to do. It is not like you make your quick decision making and then you regret on it. That's not what emotionally intelligent means. Okay. Yesterday we saw that critical thinking skill, which was crucial, and we mentioned all these points yesterday. And in fact, that skill was synonymous. In fact, that's a prerequisite of today's. That is why I'm going like step by step, gradually taking you to this level. Because suddenly, when I start saying, when I introduce you to problem solving skills, and I tell you, okay, we are going to teach you as to how you can take rapid problem solving, then it's a myth. Nobody can quickly take a decision unless they have been exercising their muscle power there. Okay, I'm saying brain muscles there. All right. With that note, what is actually rapid problem solving means? It is called quick assessment, rapidly evaluating situations as they arise. Instead of saying rapidly, you can even call this as smartly, or quicker. And fast decision making, making choices without overthinking or delay. That is the key here. For you to become quick problem solver, you need to be at speed with clarity and confidence. So the keywords is speed, clarity, and confidence. Only then you can be agile. You can, move forward with such speed. And if you dwell on certain situations or certain decision making more and more, you go into analysis paralysis. You won't be able to bounce back. And immediate action. Take swift steps to address the issue at hand. If you see a problem, make sure within 24 hours it is addressed. You also should be able to distinct whether is it needed to be solved. Is it you who have to solve? Or do you need somebody, is it in your control to solve? That is also there. If it is not in your control, you might have to rely on somebody else. For example, if it's a government policy, it's not much of in your control. If it's going to be climatic conditions, it is definitely not in our control. Power cut, internet connectivity. You can do, you can create that infrastructure, but over and above, it is not in our control. So quickly ask these questions. These are invoking emotional intelligence in you. Only then you don't get swayed, overthink, you don't get too, emotionally backed out. Neither can you get swayed by other people's emotion. Even for others, people, when you're dealing with people and you're involving people in this kind of stressful situations, you ask yourself, is it in your control? If it is entirely not in your control, if it depends on outside people and outside situation, maybe it pulls your speed down. So you will have to have that understanding in terms of assessing. Okay, with that being said, this is a generic understanding. How do you approach rapid problem solving? Now, let's talk about benefits for busy moms. Because my heart goes to moms like me and you, and it's a mini guide that we are offering in this series. But that doesn't mean the skill cannot work for other people. But I mentioned this because it is focused to busy moms. So, especially a mom who's working and also juggling at home, or a full time stay at home mom filled with children at home, equally important. Okay. First thing is to manage your time. Handling challenges quickly to stay on schedule is equally important. Maybe we are not yet perfect in any of the dimensions. All we are going to try is to be appropriate. Mark this word, listen to this word very carefully. We don't have to be perfect, and perfection is myth. Progress is truth. Progress outcome is only being appropriate. We don't have to be perfect. We can always be appropriate, meaning doing things what is needed for as per the situation. The situation can be only dealing with you, or the situation can involve others. The situation can require you to act now, or it could be for future. The situation can be that it is urgent and important, or it need not be. The situation can be logically, we need to be putting our feet down to say this works and this doesn't work because there is no data, there's no facts and figures. Or this could be a situation where you need more emotionally driven brain. Maybe there's a grief around. Maybe there is a death, or maybe somebody is very sad, somebody is sick. You need to appropriately drive your situations. You just cannot act at one, direction. So whatever is appropriate, that is acting in midbrain, using your emotional intelligence. Okay. With that being said, always remember this. We're not going to be perfect. Nobody can. It is not humanly possible. So we're not going to beat ourselves up. So what are we trying to do? Just keep up our schedules. Whatever is needed for that, we'll solve and keep going. If you're not able to solve, it's still okay. Acknowledge that and be, encouraging yourself to solve the next time when you meet that. Take that learning, whatever you made mistakes, it's okay. You learn that wisdom and incorporate, be open to review and feedback, and then be adaptable and just keep moving. And it reduces the stress. If you can just keep moving, it, and even under the pressure, you can still stay calm. But if you keep overthinking, dwelling on the same thing, dwelling on the past, and unable to move forward, it will only bring more stress. Already there is stress, it'll add up. Okay. So staying calm and collected when facing unexpected issues is the outcome. But how are you going to do is what we are discussing. Increased efficiency. So that will be a benefit. If you have this problem solving skills quicker and smarter, then you are able to tackle multiple tasks without getting overwhelmed. Then you see suddenly yourself becoming a superpower. Already a mom is like Kali Mata. It's like I always figured out some point of life, some point of time in my life, I felt like I'm doing many things at one time. as if like I have hands and legs working different directions. I've been pulled in different direction. I'm also working on different direction. It is quite possible for all moms, especially with 3 or 4 children. They're already a Kali Mata naturally, right? When I say Kali Mata, with multiple hands working everywhere, they're all over the place. While it is beautiful to see, powerful to see how that person is able to handle that. If only they are able to be, quicker and faster, they're skilled and talented in that area. But if they are doing out of force, they will eventually burn out, and it drains their energy out. It is just not to prove anybody, it's just not acting superhuman. It is about being superhuman. It is not just doing it. So how are you being? All these skills comes innate because you are naturally building, you're working on yourself every day. So you're being in that stage to be able to make you work on that level of at equal level at the same time. It demands a high skilled application, because had you this doesn't come overnight or over weekend. It has to be practiced. It comes over with responsibility. That's how it is. A young person who's just wild and wandering around, adventurous, suddenly they turn responsible after becoming a parent. We have seen through it, right? So the responsibility can make them achieve their highest potential, even beyond that. But are we doing it forcefully or with power? With power, that means skills are coming in for rescue. And what is the cost of poor problem solving? Suppose you're very slow at problem solving. What happens? Or it could be the other way, where you're using this rapid problem solving skills very extreme. I told you in this series, I will be addressing the brain skills, right? Always remember, since I'm dealing with psychometric tools, where I'll take the reports, and the report will show you the brain, two sides of brain. And in one side of the brain, there will be bubble. And maybe there is another bubble in this side. So there are three strands, right? And for me as a coach and as a consultant, what I will read is, where is this bubble placed? Is it in the right brain or left brain? Is it in the extreme of right brain, or is it in the extreme of light? Or is it in the mid brain, closer to the midline? And how big it is, okay? So what does it denote? If the bubble is going to the extreme, that means this person, okay, this side is right brain and this side is left brain. If this person is extreme here, they're very extremely good at something. Let's say in this case of problem solving, extremely good, because they can assess quickly. They know the cost and benefit of it. They know whether it is needed or not. They know the needs of people around. They're very quick. While they're very quick, sometimes they can take it for granted. They might brush off the emotions part of it, the creativity part of it. Maybe it's like an autopilot for them. They're not thinking other ways. They're not taking into multiple perspectives. They're not considering the technology disruption or market downturn. They're not able to forecast, okay? Because they are on autopilot. And because they have gone to this extreme, far away from the midbrain, it is hard for them to rewire and come to the midbrain. And why are we coming to the midbrain? Is because only in the midbrain, you have the flexibility to jump over either ways. Whenever the situation is needed, you can jump to emotional brain, kicking in your creativity, resilience, endurance, emotional processing for people, yourself, and all that. Whenever it's not needed, you just switch off and then move to logical, assessment, saying trend, report, analysis, data, facts, figures, and all that, right? You see, because we're all doing multiple roles in a day. So we need both these brains activated. But if you're extremely there, it is going to be difficult for you to come in the mid brain. I hope you've understood. If you've understood this and it seems to be interesting, give me in the comment box that it is interesting to know about brain skills. And if I see somebody commenting, I'll pick up that winner and I'll give you some rewards. The reason why I'm saying is brain skill is essential. It is not recommended for everybody in the world to take this report, but it is okay to at least understand, becoming aware. And it is so very possible that we learn from observation itself. all these wisdoms is not been passed on to us. We know how emotionally intelligent people were around us, right? Take for example, I've been telling this example from the beginning. Our own family, Indian families, or anywhere, okay, any part of the world, our own elders have exhibited this. Okay, even a child is pretty expressive, emotionally literate. Okay, it depends on our culture. In our times, we are nil with emotional literacy, and we were always told to keep the emotions at the doorstep. And men cannot emote. But there could be culture where they were taught to express, and they are expressive. Okay, and in our homes, maybe we are not expressive at all, but we are emotionally intelligent to understand the needs of other people. Our moms displayed the same thing, right? Our aunties, our grandparents, they exactly know which person likes what kind of recipes, right? What will take them off, what will make them stick on. They know every, it's as though they have the telepathic abilities. They can read emotions, they can read moods. How does this come? It's only by observing more, by paying attention, by expanding their awareness. These were not taught, these were not labeled like any skill, or they were not credited, they were not given due credit also for doing this. Okay, it's part of their lives, it's part of their being. So, what I'm saying is, so understanding this at this point of time, it's very important because it is fast paced and there is no school education happening, on this extensively, which is supposed to be there. But where are we going to do? As a mom, you and me cannot go back to school. That is why I'm on my mission to help reach out to women, uh, because I've been there, when I was not able to be emotionally literate, I was not able to read my own emotions. I may be good at reading other people's emotion, but I did not know what is my needs, wants, and desires. What are my emotion telling me? For a long time, I was in blind spot about my own self. I didn't know what makes me happy. Now I've got 300 list of items which I can exactly tell me, I can exactly tell anybody that this is what it's, something that I will go for. Whenever I feel sad, I just switch on to this mode, and then I become happy. I motivate myself. So I'm more self driven. Even then, I was self driven. But then I realized that I was dependent, my self motivation was largely dependent on others' happiness, whereas it also has to derive from my own happiness. And for some other person, it could be the other way around. They have no clue what's happening with others. They may still be a leader, they may still be living with people, but they may be disconnected totally. And it will eventually manifest in their, actions, decision making. Okay. It's going to be turmoil in their relationship personally also. Now, with that note, the point here is you shouldn't go extreme. That is why I say there's no mastery in emotional intelligence. It's always how functionally we are working in midbrain. That is what is going to help us actively be emotionally intelligent. All right, so if you are overdoing it, it's going to stress you out, feeling overwhelmed by daily disruptions. Because all the time you're going to be solving the problems. That only means you have so distressful life. Life is giving problems after problems, or you are inviting problems after problems. There's if somebody is firefighting all the time, poor life. There's really something wrong. Maybe terminally ill people around them, or their life maybe financially stressed. There could be genuine problems, right? But not all the time in life. If somebody is consistently being in that phase, they are for sure short leading to burnout. It is important to come out of it. And we don't get tuned our own body to be in that mode all the time also. That is why brain itself is going autopilot. When the brain is going autopilot, the rest of the body will accustom that. So it is important to switch. That is why. And in my community, in my courses, that's exactly what I'm teaching my students. How do we activate both the brains so that you give it a break and you acknowledge your wins and not so wins? It's not that we can always be successful. There are some areas, there is ups and downs. That is why in life, only then the wisdom can kick in. And then there could be delays also if you're like, constantly problem solving, missing appointments and falling behind schedules. Okay. This could be This could be a disadvantage if you don't have. This may not be the extreme, it is not the outcome of the extremeness, but this could be a disadvantage if you do not have this. Imagine if you cannot solve the unplanned, events in a day. Maybe you've not even thought about it. You had some other plan and something is coming up. If you cannot solve it, your planned schedules will get affected. It's so with the case school, right? School schedules are fixed, office schedules are fixed. We just have to go abide with that. Even though there is disruptions happening, we quickly have to decide as to how we can flexibly be on track. And then frustrations kicks in, struggling to keep up with a busy lifestyle. We are anyway being disrupted. We are anyway feeling stressed that it is getting fast paced. It's like we don't know how this day went so fast. Even my child is also saying it is in the face of the child's world also that it is going very fast, not just the adult. So in which case we have to be having the balance, taking care of ourselves and uh, needs around us, for which you need to be agile and be emotionally intelligent, learning all these skills. So let's talk about the power of quick thinking, assessing, quickly evaluating the situation at hand, and deciding, making a fast, informed decision. If you are well aware and informed, then your decision making becomes an intentional decision making. You're not going to regret on it because you're assessing everybody's needs and wants, and you know what exactly you want. If you're part of the company, you know their financial status, their cost mechanisms, resources available, their policies. You also will take care of the market. Sometimes even the cyber related things. You will take into consideration everything. Then that becomes informed decisions and acting on it. You need to act on it, right? To be able to solve problems, you need to act. You just cannot sit and think mentally solve the problems. So it is not, when I say brain, it's just not happening inside the brain. It is also happening through your hands and legs. You got to move and enable it to happen. So left brain versus right brain. So what is happening here? When I'm talking about rapid problem skill, which one is activated more? Logical thinking for fast analysis of situations, and creative problem solving for unique solutions. Both has to be blended. Whenever you are, solving, whenever there is a routine transactions involved, then you just have to have left brain activated. But when there is people involved and when there is something new coming in, okay, then your right brain has to kick in to creatively give you that solutions. How are we going to creatively give solutions? In the previous episodes, we have discussed enough strategies and we will be discussing a lot of strategies. Even today, I will give you the 6 actionable strategies in left brain and right brain. So you can quickly assess which of the strategies which are going to help you activate that creativity in problem solving. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so the outcome of being able to rapidly problem solving is efficiency boost also. Statistics says 60% who are more efficient, those are the rapid problem solvers who are managing their daily task better, because it's going to change their own time and people around them also. Quick decisions free up time from the other important task. Especially you are able to prioritize tasks. When you're able to solve problems and keep moving, you can address to the important and urgent task. If you're sitting and dwelling and evaluating, if you're not an action taker at all, then even the important one, urgent one gets hit. For you to have smoother days, irrespective of any unplanned change, you will be able to handle changes without derailing your schedule. Okay. Okay. Now, the advantage of rapid problem solving, apart from your productivity boost and all that, we saw it is going to improve your efficiency and reducing stress, and it's going to increase your confidence. The more you're able to solve problems, your confidence that even if it's a bigger problem, you will have that ability already built. So at some organizations in your own team, you may have noticed that if you have the skill working in you, you can identify the way people approach you for problem solving. It could be emotional problems or work-related problems. Okay, you will have to also consider this, that when you are dealing with problem solving that too rapidly, make sure that you don't miss details, because fast decisions may allow you to overlook important information. And then short-term focus. This is an additional disadvantages that we want to talk, because earlier we spoke about how extremism will affect you, but this is an actual disadvantages for you not able to solve the problems rapidly. If you have short-term focus and cannot think forecast for future, then it is not solved appropriately. Maybe short-term you can escape from it, but it is going to come back to you. So quick fixes might prioritize immediate over long-term solutions, but it will come back. And then it might give you emotional fatigue, because constantly thinking can lead to exhaustion. And it is not fun. Okay. So you just cannot keep on solve the problems. Sometimes we just have to accept and let go and let the time solve the problem. That is why I told you in the beginning, 3 questions. Is it in your control? If it's not in your control, you just cannot pull through and then, deliberately solve the problem. Sometimes even if it could be in your control, but the situation is not appropriate for you to act on it. So you just let go. Somebody else can do it. So who needs this skill? Everything is needed for everybody, honestly. But to be very precise, busy moms need this because they are balancing work and family and personal responsibilities. Professionals with high stake, quick decision making in fast paced environment is equally important. And caregivers managing multiple daily tasks and unpredictable situations. That is also important. And how are we going to apply this in our family? Like this mom, you know, understands that spillover can happen, whether it is from child or from adult around you, even within, because of your own self, like maybe you didn't focus, you didn't prioritize, you didn't prepare, spillover can happen because of you also. So you just cannot curse yourself and then, keep going. So you'll have to come to a situation where, you let go. But if you can schedule changes quickly by adjusting sudden shifts, then it will be easy, both for your child routine and your routine. Household mishaps can, spills like this, accidents like this, without derailing your day, can still be managed calmly under pressure instead of lashing out. Okay. If you can given for that, those contingency areas, this is not emergency, but if you can think through the short range and long, intense range, then you are actually allowing the brain to act calm, because that's the aim, right? Acting calm and then quickly taking decisions. So these are helping you to think on your feet. Last minute emergencies. So address those unexpected issues with confidence and speed. That is also important. Tackling your daily task. How are we going to do this? Because if your daily tasks are handled well, 70% of your task, if you can plan really well, and if it goes really well according to that, you're already winning. Because 30% you have to always have this contingency for life to take over. If that courage and that amount of skill you have in you, that you leave 30% gap to fill in, then you're highly skilled in problem solving, because you're forecasting challenges. You're not inviting problems, but if it is coming, you are bigger than that. I'll tell you a trend right now. Elon Musk, whom we saw a case study yesterday for critical thinking, his brain works in this way. In fact, all the successful leaders in this industry, like Amazon or any tech giant companies, whatever initiatives they are taking right now, especially disrupting the innovation industries, they are actually taking up initiatives which is 70% a failure, it seems. They are only taking those initiatives which for sure they know it'll be a 70% failure. How is that? So, which means what's happening here? They are constantly, strongly challenging themselves. Not just challenging themselves, they're also challenging the people working under them. So their vision is such that. So that is why they are able to pick up big revolutionary, reformation. Imagine a rocket landing in on the Earth in its own orbit by itself. So it is a huge thing, right? Making that an automation process. So the success rate of any rocket landing on the Earth, it usually falls in the sea because it goes offshoot sometime. But what if it has been brought into the right angle in the right orbit every time it lands on Earth? It just goes and fits into that the mother ring. So that is what SpaceX is actually trying to invent. So imagine the leaders' brain power in order to challenge the assumptions, challenge the conventional mode, and keep going. What amount of agility, what amount of resilience they all should be, what amount of problem solving skills they should be having. And where are we? How much can we use? Our life is, when we compare, it is mostly a routine. Setback is there, adversities are there because everybody's life is different. But the brain power can be expanded through you exercising these skills daily. Okay? All right. And then staying calm under pressure. There are a few techniques, of course, you can take: deep breathing, mindfulness, and having that emotional control mechanisms. So, in my community, I go through 21 days of resilience building. We're talking about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual coping mechanisms where we will literally make you do and make you become resilient mom at the end of 21 days. And there's a link given below. You don't have to believe me. You can look at the experiences of moms who have undergone this. What is their experiences previous, during, and after that? And how have they become unstoppable in their life? So after 21 days, it is true that they are on their own, but they definitely have gone through the mastery experiences, and that they're going to hold in their life to move forward. And I'm always there to give the community support, and it's a lifetime access. Anytime you can come and redo it again. Okay. So I'm on a mission to spread emotional intelligence awareness and also helping busy moms to act on that skills, to practice that skills with me. If you also want to know, just stay till the end of this episode. I'll tell you how to access that. So prioritizing immediate action is also important. Now that you know how to think on your feet, now you're able to be staying calm under the pressure. Now you're also able to have an assessing skills. Now, what is next? You need to jump into act, right? Only then you can solve the problem. You just cannot stay calm under the pressure and just stay there. So you're not a problem solver then. Okay? Maybe you're able to stay calm, but what about the problems? If the problem is persisting, it will eventually disturb you next time. So you have to immediately prioritize, assess the urgency. If you need to know whether it is urgent or it can be done later, you have to quickly determine which issues needs immediate attention. So, see, naturally, moms are agile. Naturally, moms are problem solving because we will not stay calm and stay quiet when the child is crying, right? We will immediately act on it. We will solve the problem. So, it is natural in us. So, all these wisdoms, all these skills are in us. But are we acting, are we modeling that in all dimensions of life? Only then it is helping us move forward. Okay. And also focus your energy, direct your efforts to the most pressing problem. Whatever, it is not about firefighting, but you need to assess what could be the adversity or setbacks where you can prepare yourself not to go to that level. And also directing your energy on existing level, on everyday level, so that you don't spill over your energy everywhere. For doing things which is already in your purview, you you must have attained the skill right now to solve problems. For example, you may be very good at kitchen cooking recipes. You exactly know what amount of ingredients we need, even without measurement. We know that, and at the same time, we also know exactly what the child needs. Doesn't matter whether you have one child or four child, you will know. It is because you have been exercising on it. It's the same way that you will have to practice in the other dimension when you go for work. It is all about you exercising that muscle every day and differing less urgent. So put less critical task on hold temporarily. I use this mechanism called DAD formula. Okay. It is called first distinction. even before you apply this formula, you'll have to distinct whether it is needed or not, whether you'll have to do or not, whether it is saving your energy or it is spilling your energy. You need to know even before you do cut off anything from your routine. You really have to know. And once you've decided these are the items which you're not saving, what you have to do is first is delegate. And if you are in the western part of the world, it is impossible. Even if you have to delegate, it is only within your family member. So do that and make the family understand that you are attending something important. So you'll have to bring that understanding and then delegate it. But back home in your native country like India, it's a privilege because we have labor, we have support systems which can help us. So on that note, when you are able to delegate, it is good for you because you're saving your time and energy. If not, find automation. My journey, whatever I've been through, all my mistakes, I've automated that today. Whether it is for life or business, whatever mistakes I've done, I always try to automate it. I automate in order to save my energy and time. My whole, even if I'm doing a shopping, I always think how it is going to reduce my time and energy. Automate that. The third thing is, suppose you're not able to delegate, neither you're able to automate. Of course, in this part of the country, outsourcing is little luxury. So if you cannot do these three, the best is delete it. I have detoxed for myself. I've deleted a lot of transactions in my life the last 3, 4 months. And believe me, it has made me 20x potential where I was before few months. And now I am a different person because I was able to delete a lot of transactions. When I say that, I've almost stopped watching any of these platforms except for my business. My business itself is I'm a digital entrepreneur. The entire transaction that I do is only digital. Despite of it, I've not been checking any social media platform except for YouTube because back home I have aged parents. I'll have to be in touch with the news and all that. But other than that, it's been drastically reduced. And about my emails, I have a platform. I've subscribed to a platform called unroll.com, which enabled me to knock off whatever is not needed. So I don't get nasty emails. I don't get any of the email marketing things. I block it then and there, I spam it. Okay. I mean, I report to spam. Then the next one I did was with people. So it is equally important you need to detox from people who give you negativity, who don't support you in your journey. You'll have to find that distinction who supports and who does not. Without having that awareness, without having that clarity, you just cannot burn the bridges. You just cannot say, hey, you know what? By talking to you, it doesn't help me. My coach told me to delete it, to detox from you. That's not how it works. So we are going to do it kindly and discreetly in order to, for which you need to be very clear in your goals. So remember this DAT formula and just tell me in the comments if it helped you. Okay. So only then I'll be motivated to give you this kind of simple formulas and nuggets and hacks next time. Then comes creative problem solving. You remember the right brain activity. So it will enable you to think outside the box. So you're going to consider any unconventional solutions to common problems. Think about Elon Musk. He's a synonymous person to critical thinking and outside the box thinking. Adapt quickly. Be flexible in your approach to challenges because you need to be rapidly able to problem solve, right? Speed, clarity, and confidence. Three keywords. Write in the comment box speed, clarity, and confidence. Improvise. Use available resources in innovative ways. The more number of learnings that I see as comment, I'm going to pick you as winner and I'll give it to you 100% free coupon for what I'm going to offer to you in this episode. Okay. Even for future courses, if I see somebody is interested and they are very insincere in terms of registering their learnings, and I'm going to be picking up those people for my future courses also. Any initiatives, any workshop that I do, I'll give it to you at a discounted coupon. Okay. And then for quick decision making practice, all you have to do is set your time limits. And I have done this, okay? Whenever I want to be in the deep focus mode. In my YouTube channel, I have also done the series called Productivity. In one of the episodes of Productivity series for moms, I would have gone deeper in this book called Deep Focus. So that suggested a time chunking activity and keeping a time. See, for example, when I want to do something very, focused and deep, I'm going to tell my people that for next 1 hour, I won't be available. That's the first thing that helped me. Even if I had told them there's going to be something or the other coming. So the second thing what I did was I switched off my notification. I don't have notification coming on to me, except because I stay in this part of the world and, my parents are there. I keep my WhatsApp very active. And I've never changed my number in the India number, my native number, for the last 25 years now. So that is staying alive. Apart from that, I don't have any other platforms notification. Nothing is going to disturb me. So I'm also going to tell my people. Now, after this, what is the only thing left is my brain allowing me to focus in that area. So for that, what I've done is I'll take a timer. I'll tell myself within only 1 hour, in that 1 hour, 15 minutes for research, 15 minutes for writing down, and 15 minutes for recording. So I chunk it this way. So I tell myself and I prepare my brain. Even in conversations, I am not going to tell the other person, directly that, what, you've got exactly 15 minutes to complete. Instead, I'll tell my own self, okay, how do I inform this to the person that I'm conversing so that they will know that my time is also valuable. And I'm also asking them to align to that particular topic really quickly. This is a this is something that you don't try on the first hand because they're not going to understand. Neither you will you be doing it. But within yourself, if you could tell yourself, okay, just 5 minutes, you listen to them and ask one question. That will make them get into the focus. And then next 5 minutes, after you ask them question, again remind them. Okay. So like this, if you can mentally prepare yourself with time, it'll bring you to the focus. Okay. And then true instincts. Rely on your gut feelings. If you by now know, there are a lot of YouTube learnings on gut. So they say gut is also another the entire nervous system, and it's like another brain which has which is connected to nervous system, and it takes decisions. So that's why in the olden days we would have said, if you have a gut feeling, go for it. I recently knew that there are feelings inside in the gut also. It's created inside the gut also. It is not all the time emotions are seated here. It is also here, and that it is also in the gut. So it is all the left brain and right brain activation, and it includes all part of the body because it is coming down from brain and instruction is going on. Gut is also a brain system, and so it is heart. Heart is has its own because it is connected to nerves. It's a central part of nerves also in this portion. Same with brain and same with gut. So you're going to make use of these three really well. To if you want to activate your intuitiveness, go for your gut feeling and trust your instincts. Embrace the imperfection. Lastly, for your emotional well-being, remember the keyword. What is the keyword? Perfection versus being appropriate. We're going to choose only appropriation. We're going to be appropriate human beings. It's okay. As long as we are appropriate to the situation. We are in 2024, October 25. We should be appropriate to this kind of situation, this kind of world. We just cannot say we are born in 1975, 1965, and we will act like that only. It may be okay as long as the family around you, the society around us, is still okay. But if you're traveling around, be a Roman when you're in Rome. That is exactly what we are trying to say. Being appropriate. That doesn't mean you compromise your value system. What is being appropriate for your own values, for your own body needs, for your own family needs? You'll have to take everything into consideration, and that is why you're being appropriate. Okay? And emotional intelligence is necessarily means your ability to respond appropriately to the situation. That situation can involve people or process or systems or situations, uh, around you, anything around you. Simplifying complex problems is another, I would say, subcomponents of you to be rapidly problem solving. Because unless you're dividing the problem, you're chunking the problem, the complexity of the problem, you just cannot rapidly problem solve. It is not important to pick up the speed at all. In fact, clarity won't happen. and then the confidence will not come in. So it is important to break it down and also focus on essentials. Find the core problem, actual problem, real problem without getting swayed, without getting distracted. Find quick wins. Look for immediate practical solutions. The quick wins will instill the confidence in you, and it will be a master experience, and people will, start trusting you, because if you can display some quick wins for your own self, you will feel confident to move on. And the bigger problems will still be there. But if you can solve the chunks of it and it becomes a quick wins, the bigger problems get solved very quickly. Then learning from past experiences. This is a right brain activity. Reflecting, considering how you have handled the similar situations before, that is your mastery experience. Applying that, use successful past strategies for current problems, and improving, refining your approach based on your previous decision outcomes. Remember, balancing speed and accuracy is the whole game here. Accuracy means what? You should have clarity, you should be correct, and confidence also. Unless you're confident, you won't say that you have the correct, you may have the correct data in you. Okay, it's like asking the students who knows this answer. Suppose the child is not confident, even though the child knows the answer, then it's not going to come out. So they will not be seen as a person who solved the problem. Suppose the child is confident all the time raising the hands, but the child is not able to tell the correct answer, then they are not accurate. They are not trusted for problem solving. And at the same time, the child who's confident and who is knows the answer has to raise the hand quickly to grab the opportunity. Only then, right now in the fast-paced environment, you're considered as a problem solver. So type in the comment box speed and accuracy. Okay. Now a case study. This is the most interesting part, as you already know. For me, researching on a personality or something we can relate on whenever we are talking about a skill or a talent, it's easier way to understand. Sheryl Sandberg is the CEO of Facebook. When she had a crisis where the company has to go through adversities due to disruptive market, pandemic hit, and then a lot of things happened. Algorithm got changed, and they moved from Facebook to Meta. During such scenarios, she lost her husband. So personally, she was going through grief. It is a personal setback for her own self. Despite of it, she emerged as a leader, resilient leader. With, she stayed calm under that kind of a pressure. But what made her be that way? What made her think on her feet? And what enabled her to become a problem solver? That is the intangible thing that we are seeing this as episode after episode. Okay. Earlier, when I took her example in resilient leadership or in one of the topics of resilience, it's because when it is a normal situation, it's going unplanned, it's fine. We can still manage. But when the person is going through grief, death in the family, it's a sure shot setback for them to bounce back. Okay. So it's going to be a huge task on that person themselves. As a mother, as a woman, it's a huge demand. And especially as a leader in the, highly dominated men industry, it is also important to know how she handled it. So she was able to take quick decisions. Her rapid problem solving kept Facebook running smoothly during crisis. And then being calm under pressure, she demonstrated how staying composed prevents issues from escalating. Effective leadership. Her skills showcase how quick thinking solves problems in fast-paced environment also. In the previous episodes recently, I've also picked up MS Dhoni as an example of for I think for critical thinking. Before that, problem solving only. In I think he's synonymous to any skill, yeah, for critical thinking, for resilience, for problem solving. Even in this example, the pressure that he went through, that he had to win the World Cup for India back in 2011, the amount of pressure the whole world had on him, all Indians across the world had their eyes on him. How this man is going to lead that 11-person team playing against that opponent who had already won the cup. So they're going to grab it. But any chance, they just have 1 over to decide the destiny of who's going to carry that World Cup. Decades we have been waiting. India had been waiting for decades to get that cup home. So imagine the temperament that sportsman should have been having. So he had used his left brain and right brain equally well, and the critical thinking had come in. He had that agility to think through. He's called cool captain, which only means that he always think at his feet, staying calm under pressure, but at the same time becoming, faster in thinking in terms of having a clarity of who can bowl well. He exactly know about is the capacity of his men of his squad, and he has his awareness. He knows about his own abilities. So he allowed the teammate, he empowered the teammate to own that space. So he could assess the pitch really well. He could assess the opponent capacity also. There are a lot of moving parts, right? How this person was able to add speed with such clarity and confident, he held himself at that moment, a very crucial moment, right? So I love sports and I love sports personality, whether they are athlete or working for world championships like this. The temperament, the number of days they would have worked on their skill, the mastery level they would have attained, even at that level, they can go off the radar anytime. So what is keeping them on track? That is the beauty of these skills. As and when they practice it, it's like going to the practice session every day. Only then it is going to come at their rescue when it is the need, when it is needed. So the point here is, like Cheryl, we can, the mom at your own role can also practice this. But like MS Dhoni, like her, if you need to think at your feet, it has to be practiced. So that is why I'm offering you 21 days of resilience practices. These skills are subset of it. So in that 21 days time, I will make you resilient mom in all 4 dimensions, practicing all the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual abilities. Embracing all these skills. Some inspiration for you. In a moment of decisions, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Because if you're not acting on it, you cannot solve problems. Even if you have solved a problem, which is not in a appropriate way, at least you can learn the wisdom out of it. Okay, that is going to instill the confidence in you. But a person who is just mentally doing it, it is not a problem solver at all. So this quote emphasizes the importance of taking action even in uncertainty. Okay, but have you ever thought that where do you stand in this area? So the question is like, okay, so now you may be thinking for yourself, right? These questions, if you can answer any of these questions, that will help you assess where do you stand. And that is why I'm going to give you a gift called awareness quiz bundles. For each skill, you will find a quiz where there'll be 4 options given to you. And out of that, there'll be one option's right. So you will understand when you answer that there's nothing about being right or wrong. It is about how much you know of that skill within you. Even if you have not chosen the right answer, it is going to show you the right answers where you can quickly adapt and come back to these episodes, whether on podcast or YouTube live. You can go through that and gain the answer, because from this only I would have picked up the questions. So for you to assess whether you already have this awareness or not, the awareness quiz bundles will help you. And if you're ready to fast track, that you need to know, you need to build all these skills on a daily practice, on a very strongly sustainable way. You need to practice it daily. You got to solve problems to small and everyday challenge within 24 hours. What you will do is commit yourself to identify problems around you. Don't go and invent problems. You know, that's not how you look at it. Instead, there'll be problems around you. You just have to pay attention to it and try to see whether you have to solve this problem or not. You just for the sake of it, don't do it, whether it is in your control or not. And can you actually bring solutions as a win-win solution? because just for the sake of solving the problem, you don't, solve it for yourself, or uh, compromising your peace and time and energy. You don't solve it for others. You just have to practice the skill one or two times, understanding that why you're doing what you're doing. And slowly, if you're able to see the results, that it is, it's a win-win all over, and you are having the ability to see through what kind of problem is this, and you can assess whether it is needing more data or it is needing more emotional processing there, because people are involved. Situations is such that you're actually building that awareness day in and day out. And the quiz will also give you some clues. You can also access the quiz bundles. And it's going to be a continuous learning. But within 24 hours, you can apply this and see. All the strategies that we discussed, we will apply that in within 24 hours to reinstate our learning. That means it's going to stay with you the next at least 6 months' time, because every 6 months is when, if you're working continuously, you can rewire your brain. You can become a pro or a genius if you have been working on your practice sessions. If you, it's like how a cricketer goes to the nets for practice, right? Day in and day out. Within 6 months' time, he can bridge, he can cross the bridge like anything, because the brain has been rewired. Similarly, you're going to give that practice. And I'm telling you all these awareness bundles and the resilience course, and I'm also giving you an invite for my masterclass. But all these will be at cost. Okay, it's for the public at cost, but I'll give it to you for free. If you're going to share your top three learnings, I've given you a lot of nuggets, and I've given you, asked you to type in your comment box in a lot of areas. If you can share any of the top three learnings, you're going to get from me 100% free coupon code. I'll pick you as a winner. I'll email it to you. I'll figure out how I can reach out to you. With that free coupon code, you can not only access the current courses that I told you, even in future courses, I'll tell you where you can access them. On top of it, if you are a person who's likely to fast track your problem solving skills, I shall invite you for a masterclass, which I'm conducting exclusive for women. There's a link given in the description. Go through that. You will know when it is happening. Jump into that. I'll be giving you 3 secrets to reach your brain skills activation. I'll also demonstrating one pager report where you can actually see the report. You don't have to go through the report. You don't have to take that report, because that report will be of a cost. But I'll tell you how you can look at the report and interpret whether you have it or not. And if you're insisting, I'll also tell you how you can, go through that psychometric report, because it is AI driven, globally accepted, internationally designed for all, across, geography, across locations. And it is also available for youth and adult. You can also use this for your child. So ask me more when you come to the masterclass. Until such time, I want you to practice these free resources available in YouTube. Right now, we are doing live. And after 100 days, it will all be bundled as a course, where I'll also give you community lifetime access. And this is also happening in the Spotify every day within 20 to 30 minutes on the fly, on the go, you can listen to it. And I'm also, um, uh, you know, putting down an article format for you to learn emotional intelligence in a storyfied format. It'll be very interesting to read a story happening in an Indian home setup. Okay, how are we dealing with emotional intelligence skills on that scenario? I'll be giving you a lot of examples there, and it'll be fun to interest and interesting to read a story like that. I'll be doing an articles in a platform called Substack, and then Reels and LinkedIn connection. So many things are available for you to make use of it. But it all comes to you when you want to engage your learning and show me that you're sincere about learning and growing. I'll give it to you as much as I can. And I'm also giving you a community access with all these awareness bundles. So for you to be in touch with me so that I'll know and help you grow. Until I see you tomorrow with a new skill set, I want you to stay resilient and be a quick person to solve problems. Volunteer so that you can exercise these muscles. Don't be an observer all the time. Of course, you need observation, but after you assess, jump in to take action. And also go through the previous episodes to help you how you can actually logically or emotionally approach a problem also. So I'll see you tomorrow with a new skill.